Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I have a Darkness Ablaze deck profile for you. This is going to be the first one of the Darkness Ablaze set profiles. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an ADP Zacian V list for post-rotation. So that's going to be team up through Darkness Ablaze. It is now confirmed. Just want to show this list off. It's a super powerful list. I've been testing it, mainly just by myself, and I believe it's a top contender in this new format, so I just wanted to go ahead and show it to you guys. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. There should be a couple other links in the description you can also check out if you want to help us out further. But without further ado, let's just get right into this deck profile. So first of all, we have the thing that really makes this deck good, Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia, as you'll see on the playmat. But of course, this is really what we're looking at here. We got Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia with that Altered Creation GX attack. Lets your Pokemon do 30 more damage, and lets you take extra prize cards. Super powerful card. Ultimate Ray, also not a bad attack if you don't get KO'd after you use Altered Creation. Super, super good card. Really what makes this deck work. Next up, we have 3 copies of Zacian V, our main attacker in the deck, with that Intrepid Sword ability. We have, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and grab any Metal Energy you find there, pop it on your Zacian. Awesome for that first turn when you normally can't really do anything, especially if you're going first. And Brave Blade is, of course, our best attack in the deck. You swing for 230 or 260 damage if your opponent has or if you have used Altered Creation. So Zacian, super strong card. You can also add damage to that with a couple other cards in the deck, and then there are a couple other ones you can play as well. In terms of other attackers, our only other attacker in this deck is going to be Zamazenta V, which generally is good for its ability in Dauntless Shield. It prevents damage done to it by VMAX Pokemon. So that's going to be Dragapult, Eternatus, Centiskorch, or any other VMAX your opponent throws at you. It's just a really good card to have in your deck, even just as a one-of. Assault Tackle's not a bad attack. It's pretty good in most matchups. You can swing for 130 or 160, depending on whether or not you've used Altered Creation. And you can just discard Special Energy from your opponent's active and wall. It's just a super good card as a tech overall. We have 3 copies of Jirachi from Team Up. With that Stellar Wish ability, can find you extra cards. It can find you extra cards. You look at the top 5, find any trainer card you want, and put it into your hand. Super good. It pairs really well with like Switch, Scoop Up Net, and then technically you can also use Slap in matchups where they have really low HP Pokemon, but generally you're just going to want to use it for its Stellar Wish ability. For our support Pokemon, we have 5 of them. We have Dedenne GX for Data Change. It allows you to discard your hand and draw 6 cards when you put it onto the bench. We've got our first new card of the deck. We have Crobat V. Allows you to draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Similar to Dedenne GX, but also different in the way that you draw instead of discarding your hand. We've got 1 copy of Oranguru with Primate Wisdom. You can put a card from your hand on top of your deck, and then put a card from the top of your deck into your hand. So you get a card and give a card, just pretty good in general. You can also use it to pair with Zacian V's Intrepid Sword. So our next support Pokemon is going to be the Mind Report Mewtwo. Allows you to get any supporter card that you want right back on top of your deck, and then you can either draw it on your next turn, get it with Stellar Wish or Intrepid Sword, or just use like some sort of supporter card to find it, or just if you want to just get it back into your deck. Also not a terrible option. It's really good for recovering stuff like Boss's Orders. You can use it in combination with a Rangaroo, Crobat, Dedenne, really anything. It's super easy to find the card you put on top of your deck. Our final Pokemon is going to be Galarian Zigzagoon with that Headbutt Tantrum. Just an excellent way to get 10 extra damage. We are also playing Scoop Up Nets in this deck, so you can use that to your advantage. You can pile up a couple extra damage counters to reach numbers to hit things like Reshiram and Charizard, and Mewtwo and Mew, or sometimes even Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia, for a one-hit knockout with Zacian instead of coming 10 or 20 damage short. So that's going to do it for our Pokemon count. I'll clean these up. So I believe it's a really strong Pokemon count. Things you could experiment with are a second Dedenne or Crobat. You could play with Duraludon from the Sword and Shield set. That's really strong if you expect Decidueye to make a showing at whatever event you're going to. Or if you're just playing games, Duraludon allows you to one-shot Decidueye after using Altered Creation. So that's super strong. So you have an out to beating Decidueye. If you feel like that's a little bit concerning, I've been testing without it, just because I feel this is a pretty generic list, just so you have a decent matchup against everything. And Decidueye is not something I've been testing too heavily, because I really don't consider it a huge threat. But if you feel like it'll be popular, definitely think about a Duraludon. So next up we have our trainer count. And trainers are, of course, what makes a deck run, so we've tried to optimize the trainer count as best we can, just to make sure we're always hitting turn 1 energy, and even when possible, going second, getting turn 1 Alter Creation. So we have, to start it off, our supporters, so we have 4 Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7 cards, absolutely amazing card, just lets you draw through your deck, draw cards. It's really simple and super effective. Next, we have 3 copies of Marnie, a little bit of disruption there. You get to shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of your deck, and draw 5 cards. And while that's pretty good, that's not all the card does. You also get to make your opponent do the same, and they only get 4 cards. So your opponent just used Intrepid Sword, has a hand of 10 cards, Marnie them. Or anything like that, your opponent just used a powerful card to let them search for cards and end their turn, Marnie them. Super powerful counter to anything when they have a huge hand, and just very good overall. Next up, we have 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Allows you to make your opponent switch their active with one of their bench Pokemon. You get to choose it. That's really how you take those big KOs on tag team Pokemon your opponent aren't quite ready to send up into battle yet. You can use that in combination with Mind Report Mewtwo to just get them out of nowhere. Super, super great card, and is much better than Custom Catcher or Pokemon Catcher that we had in the format a few sets ago. So that's going to do it for our supporters. Like I said, pretty simple list. To start off our items, we have some cards that help you get energy onto your board. So we have 4 copies of Metal Saucer, and then we also have 4 copies of Turbo Patch. So Metal Saucer allows you to attach a metal energy from your discard pile to one of your bench metal Pokemon, while Turbo Patch does the same thing, but you have to flip a coin, and then you get any basic energy you want. Yeah, onto your bench Pokemon. So, those are really how you power up your Zacian V. Without those, it would be really difficult to get Zacian V powered up. So, that's how we're gonna do it, just out of nowhere. We play 8 of them, just so we have maximum, right after Alter Creation, you can just go straight in with, Zacian, and attack your opponent. Super, super good card. So, next up we have some more consistency. We have 4 copies of Quick Ball, just to search your deck for basic Pokemon. Pretty simple. We have 4 copies of Switch, just to switch your active Pokemon when your bench Pokemon pairs well with Jirachi. We have 4 copies of Scoop Up Net. Allows you to scoop up your active Pokemon, or scoop up any of your Pokemon that aren't GXs, and put them right into your hand, or V Pokemon for that matter. Now, a couple more items. We have 2 copies of Energy Switch, allowing you to move an energy. That's how you make it possible to use Altered Creation on your very first turn, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then you can go turn 2 Brave Blade, dealing 270, 280 damage right off the bat, taking 4 prize cards on your second turn. It's absolutely a ridiculous deck, or a ridiculous strategy to use. And it normally goes pretty well for you if you manage to pull it off. It's not super common with this list. If you want to make a more turbo build that aims to use Alter Creation on the first turn, going second every game, where you deliberately choose to go second, you're going to want to build a more turbo build with order pads. If you guys want to see that list, make sure to leave a comment. Tell me what kind of deck you'd like to see featured on the channel. I'd love to feature any content that viewers suggest. I love taking suggestions from viewers on YouTube or Twitch or through Discord or really whatever. To finish off our item count, we have a couple more. 2 copies of Cherish Ball. Just a little bit of extra search can get you Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. Or it can get you Dedenne GX. It's just extra search for ADP, so you can use your Quick Balls for Zacians or Jirachis or stuff like that, or Crobat. Next, we have 2 copies of Energy Spinner, just an extra out that you can find with Stellar Wish to Water Energy. That's generally pretty difficult to find because we only play 2 copies. But with Energy Spinner, it becomes so much easier. You can find it in your starting hand or off Stellar Wish. To round out our item count, we have 1 more Gust card in Great Catcher, just so you don't have to use up your supporter card for turn, and you can just Gust up your opponent's benched GX Pokemon, and hopefully knock it out, or you can just use it to trap something in the active. So that does it for our trainer count, of course, and all we have left is the energy. In terms of energy, it's a pretty simple count. We just play 8 metal energies and 2 water energies. I think that's a fine count. Yeah, so we have that as our energy count. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's just the best way to set up the deck. And I believe this is a really strong list going into the next format. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us out. I really appreciate you guys watching. And hopefully you guys make sure to look out for more Darkness Ablaze content and other videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.